Julius Caesar is one of the most prominent and memorable leaders of the ancient world. Why do so many remember him? Julius Caesar was truly an ambitious Roman general and politician. He was greatly admired by many, and he was also hated and feared by many. Some believed that he was too ambitious, too eager for fame and power, that his ambition would keep him from acting in Rome's best interest. Let's take a look at his life. Was Julius Caesar a power-hungry and ambitious dictator, or a benevolent reformer? Julius Caesar lived in the 1st century BC and was born into a middle-class family. He knew that if he was going to get ahead in life, he would have to do it through military advancement. In addition to his great military feats, he would also advance in the realm of politics. By 59 BC, Julius Caesar had gained enough popularity with the lower classes, allied himself with the right politicians, and gained enough political power to be elected consul in Rome. Julius Caesar is remembered today as one of the most successful generals the Roman army had ever seen. He was consistently victorious in battle, to the point that his soldiers became more loyal to him than to Rome itself. He helped expand the Roman Republic in Europe. He gained power in Gaul, which is present-day France, and he even invaded Britain in 55 BC. As Caesar was off battling foreign tribes back home in Rome, his heroic deeds and conquest were causing him to become popular with many, especially the lower classes. After conquering Gaul in 51 BC, Caesar decided that he wanted to be elected consul again, and he knew that he had to go back to Rome to do so. In the meantime, the Senate in Rome feared that Caesar was gaining too much power and popularity. In 49 BC, the Senate in Rome ordered Caesar to give up his army and return home to Rome alone. They did not want Caesar to come into Rome with his army, possibly start a war, or worse, come back and take over. Caesar had no intention of giving up his army as the Senate had requested, and he did want to return to Rome and serve as consul. How was he going to make this happen? In 49 BC, Caesar gathered his army and marched toward Rome. By crossing the Rubicon River at the northern boundary of Italy, he showed the Senate that he would fight them for power. Caesar understood that once he crossed the Rubicon and began to enter Rome with his army, there was no turning back. The actions of Caesar, the crossing of the Rubicon, started a civil war. It was Roman against Roman. It seemed that the existence of the Roman Republic itself was at stake. The army in Rome was no match for Julius Caesar. He quickly took control of Italy. He then filled the Senate with those who would support and go along with him. For 5 years, Caesar not only gained absolute power, but he also ruled with absolute power. During this time, as Julius Caesar was ruling, he was generally trying to make improvements and initiate reforms for the people. He had plans to make more people Roman citizens, those living in territories outside of the Italian peninsula. He tried to stop the corruption going on in Rome and tried to improve the court system. He started new colonies to provide land for the landless and create work for Rome's jobless. He ordered landowners using slave labor to hire more free workers. These measures made Caesar popular with Rome's lower classes and the poor. So during this time period within the Roman Republic, dictators were often appointed in times of emergency, such as wars, and these dictators were to be temporary. However, Julius Caesar placed himself in power and declared himself dictator for life. He made sure that everyone knew that he was planning to be the ruler for a long time. He had his face put on coins, something that only kings did, and in honor of himself, the 7th month Quintilis was renamed Julius, which we know of as July. In February of 44 BC, Caesar had the Senate vote him as dictator for life. This angered many and instilled a fear that Caesar would become way too powerful like a king. About a month later, on March 15, 44 BC, Caesar attended a regular meeting of the Senate. At this meeting, a group of conspiring senators gathered around him, pulled out knives, and began stabbing Caesar. He fell to the ground and died. Civil war followed Julius Caesar's death. His assassination left the leaders of Rome to figure out what form of government should be put in place. Julius Caesar will be remembered for the way that he lived and for the way that he died. Both reveal elements of his ambitious character. Ambition. It caused Julius Caesar to be a successful general, a powerful leader, and a skilled politician. Julius Caesar did much to increase the power of Rome through his military conquest and his numerous reforms. While many believed that he destroyed the Roman Republic, he is also seen as the link between the republic that Rome had been and the empire it would become. Julius Caesar paved the way for Rome to be one of the greatest empires and civilizations of the ancient world. So you decide, was he an ambitious and powerful dictator looking out only for himself, or was he an ambitious and benevolent reformer looking to benefit Rome?